NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200-plus entertainment and news networks. Or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $42 a month when you use the promo code ESPNNW at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida. Get ready. The Afternoon Underdogs are on the air.
Live and local.
Weekdays from 4 till 6.
This thing is going to be a financial and cultural disaster.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Whopper, 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 whopper.
The Afternoon Underdogs are on the air. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, what's going on, Northwest Florida? You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Tuned in here to ESPN Northwest Florida 104.3 in Panama City and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Along here with my good friends, it's the Afternoon Underdogs. We've got AG, also known as Adam Golf, or I guess Adam Golf, also known as AG, also known as Fano, also known as...
whatever you want.
The rain cloud.
Yeah, the rain cloud. There's another one.
I like the rain cloud from back.
We got Caveman Rick in the house, and of course we've got Banji Bamadella. He is the local sports reporter here for the Panama City News Herald, doing a great job. We appreciate him so much for giving us some of his time, and then also, when we get into debates like little small, minute ones like Jordan and LeBron, who's the greatest of all time. I almost wore my Kobe jersey today, but I'm going to save that for a warm-up.
Let me ask you a question. After he left here and we were still on the air, we have a lot of gravel in the parking lot. How many of those rocks in that parking lot do you think he kicked on his way out?
Oh, over, under, I don't know. And then to boot, I added the 28-3. So, all right, we're off to a roaring start.
He's like, I'm out.
Oh, my goodness. Again, y'all go check out the Panama City News Herald. Subscribe to it. So, most of the articles are subscriber only. And so with that, y'all go subscribe because he brings great content. If you want to see your kid's name in the newspaper, check out Banji's articles over there. And they got good deals going on right now as well. Yes, yeah, man. So, again, you guys can call or text us this afternoon at 850-215-6290. You can follow along with us on Facebook, or you can text us 850-215-6290. Also YouTube, and really our YouTube kind of pops on Wednesdays with AG in the building, along with Morgan, who will be joining us this afternoon around for the second hour. Arnold got a big W. Actually, before we dive into Arnold, I don't have the Facebook post in front of me, but apparently Ryan Mulvey's surgery, according to Beth Mulvey, the surgery went well today. The surgeon feels like he got it all. So we'll just continue with our thoughts and prayers, and we'll continue reading the updates from Beth as they come along. I believe that they should be getting his own room now. So, again, thoughts and prayers with him, and thoughts and prayers with Jamal Smith's mom, as she had a tumor removed from her breast this afternoon.
And their families as well, because that's rough on them.
Oh, my goodness. the person who's going through it, there's no understanding. There's no way to be able to have an amount of a percentage of an amount of empathy unless you've been in those shoes before.
Right.
However, there's a lot of us who have been in the shoes of the family, and that right there is it shatters your soul sometimes at what the other people are going through, at what the is it fair to say victim, the patient rather is dealing with. It's tough on the families just as well. So thoughts and prayers with the families and with Ryan Mulvey himself, and then for Jamal Smith and his mom there. Arnold got a big W and back to the 5A championship. That'll be this Saturday at 10 a.m. and that is Eastern time.
Eastern time.
So 9 a.m. So you guys got to wake up early. We don't know if we're going to have any watch parties at maybe at Beef O'Brady's or
Will
not.
it be
But
televised?
No, it's streaming on NFHS network.
which does not stand for like North Florida High School or
Right.
anything. That's like National Federation.
of High School Sports, something like that.
Jinx, you owe me a
Okay.
Pepsi, and we've got plenty of Pepsis in the cooler, so that's all good there. But Banji, what any takeaways from the game this afternoon or this morning, should I say?
I would say Arnold's goalkeeper, Leakin Gwynn, he had 5 saves in this game. It was back and forth in the first 20 minutes, but then Carson Stewart scored a bicycle kick. It was a stunning goal because you don't see it that often, but he scored a bicycle kick, and then 7 minutes later, 27th minute, he scores a tap in. It was like from 2 feet out, so it was on a plate. But once Arnold went up 2-0, it was over from there, and they coasted all the way to a 2-0 victory, and now they're back in the title game.
And this is the team that lost 9 starters last year, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, I mean, just think about that for a second, right? Like, think about your favorite sports team, whether it be college, whether it be NFL or a pro, and you think about that, the one team from, a great run, not even a championship here, but from a great run, and then there's that much attrition
Yeah.
between that successful year and the next year. And to be able to still be at that kind of a level,
Exactly.
that speaks volumes to that coaching staff, to those kids and their work ethic. Because, I mean, they could have gone into it with all the excuses in the world this year.
Oh, yeah.
And say, well, we're just not going to be as good as we were last year. We had a great run. And they're like, no, we're knocking that next door down and we're going after it.
Yeah, it's something incredible, and I would just say to the fact that it almost seems like deja vu in a way because it's a rematch of last year's state championship game, and you could argue they're in the. I talked with him, and he was just like, "It's a rematch. Yes, it's a rematch by name. It's Arnold versus Jesuit, but 2 completely different teams."
Right.
And he was just like something that he said that they went through today when they played down there in Auburndale was that it was a lot more humid than it is in the Panhandle, and that's something that they had to get used to. Some guys might have been cramping and things like that, but he said that the weather's going to be a little bit cooler because I think they moved up the game because of rain or just a storm that's going to come through. So, I mean, besides that, I think it's probably on an even playing field because Arnold, they had a clean sheet today against a guy who scored 28 goals this season. So if you could keep a guy like that from scoring, and Jesuit has a guy who has 21 goals, he leads their team with 21 goals. So if you keep some goal scorers from scoring, you're going to be successful in the championship.
Put that into perspective for us that don't know. Like, who's the leading goal scorer for Arnold? Like, how many goals we talking?
The leading goal scorer for Arnold is Travis Novak and Thomas Galassia. They're both tied for 15 goals.
15 goals.
Which is amazing considering you have 2 guys that score 15, or 2 players that score 15, but then you have somebody that scores twice that.
Yeah.
And they give up 0.
Exactly. That just shows the defense is something that you can coach, but it's instilled into Arnold soccer. So it's like, it's just a testament to what they've been doing decade now over there at Arnold. So yeah, it's one of the things where last year they only gave up 10 goals across 25, 26 games last year. So it's like they're only giving up 16 this year. So it's like with the change in goalkeeper, with the change in 9 starters, they're still almost basically at the same quality of team. So it's something amazing to see.
So that's one of those situations where it's not, who is it, Bill Belichick or Tom Brady? It's like, it's Coach Jonah Hammond who's doing a phenomenal. And he's been going through his own, behind the scenes battles with his surgeries, what he's got going on with his family in general. It's one of those things that once you get the culture kind of built up, and then what's expected of the players, then you can kind of continue moving on in that direction as long as the players are buying in. And it seems like, well, I think the proof's in the pudding that the players have bought in totally.
Oh yeah.
And and it's got to help too when your successors or when you're a player right now on the 2025 Arnold team, you're trying to live up to what the previous players did by getting to the state championship or hoisting the state championship trophy.
But it's also great you see what you have to do to get at that level or to even be at that level. So that's the thing where that's what keeps it a cycle. It's like the 2024 class, they never lost to a Bay County opponent. They've never lost at home. That record is still, I think, 63 games now.
Wow.
Never lost at Gavlax Stadium. So seeing that, being 10-time district champions, being like doing all this, being a state champion, and seeing that, watching that, if I'm a freshman, I know what it looks like. I know what I have to do. So now, junior year, senior year, you don't even have to wait for junior. You could even sophomore year, like you can get your opportunity. He plays anybody they're going to be quality. So it's one of those things where there's just the culture there is different from anywhere in the nation, because right now Arnold's ranked number 4 in the nation. But I mean, that's probably going to change seeing what happened on Saturday.
And they already beat Booker T. Washington, who was the number one team in the nation. I mean, how often does that happen? Not sure that any of us know the answer to this, but back-to-back number 1 in the nations, not just state championships, but being back-to-back number 1 in the nation, which is wildly unheard of. Now, when we say number 1 in the nation, are we talking about of all the classes as well?
Yes.
That's insane. To be the number 1 team in the nation across 1A to 7A or 1R, 1S.
For you, okay?
All right, let's get analogous here.
The team from Remember the Titans, they were number 2 in the nation.
Yeah.
And they got a movie.
So are you saying documentary? Or are we saying movie?
ESPN 30 for 30 on this dude.
But also, when Remember the Titans was what, based in 60s?
Yeah, it was.
So then around 2080 or so.
We need to get our guy Dave Ford or something to write a book about it. That's how things start, and then like he gets a little traction, and then there you go. Disney will pop up and make a movie. Or something.
You go.
That is something though. Like someone needs to, and the fact that someone hasn't kind of already jumped on that opportunity, because it's not just like it's Arnold soccer, it's Florida roots. There's so many things,
so
and then the subjects that you have and where they have went, and I'm sure that Coach Hammond has also in some way helped with the girls at some point, right? Because you got Coach, I know when it was Coach Sakini, he was the coach of the women's team, or the girls team, and he was also helping coach with the boys. So there seems to be that camaraderie there at Arnold between the boys and the girls team. But great stuff. Arnold in baseball last night, also taking down Mosley, getting the season sweep out of the way early. Cooper Moss just dominating the baseball. 18th of his career, which I believe is the most for Arnold all time.
Yes, sir.
I mean, just baseball is going to be a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun around this area, and it looks like Arnold's going to be the team to lead the way, but not so fast. You got the Bozeman Bucks hosting South Walton tonight at 6 p.m., right?
Yes, sir, at the Public Sports Park. That one's going to be, because South Walton
they're playing right over here.
Yeah.
Oh,
South
okay.
Walton have 4 pitchers who are all D1, and so it's gonna be a real test for the Bucks if they really want to make a. Granted, South Walton I believe is 4A, so it's like they won't see them in the playoffs, but it'll still be a good measurable of like, okay, how good really are we? So.
Yeah, no doubt. And we'll talk more local here at 420. We already spent 10 minutes on it, but hey, we're just trying to stay away from LeBron and Jordan. What other debates would you guys like to hear from Banji Bamadella? He's your sports reporter for the Panama City News Herald. I was curious to get you guys' thoughts on this. We had the whole Jimmy Butler saga. Then he gets traded over there to the Golden State Warriors. Well, Tim Hardaway Sr. made a comment, I believe it was yesterday afternoon on a Sirius XM NBA radio. He said, I didn't agree with what he was doing. You're under contract. You're a baby. You're a crybaby because they said no to you. We used to get said no to us all the time, and we used to know how to take it. It is what it is. It's a question. You get a yes or no. You may not like the answer, but you can't deviate and mess up the team. AG, your thoughts here on Tim Hardaway Sr., a guy that also played for the Heat, also played about the same amount of games with the Heat, traded from the Warriors to the Heat, playing under Pat Riley at the time. Your thoughts on these comments from Tim Hardaway Sr.?
This is just old school versus new school, right? I mean, Tim Hardaway he didn't play in the era where everybody's taking all this time off, right? Where it's, I'm going to play 3 games on, then I'm going to take a day off. Like, there wasn't any of that nonsense going on in his time. So, and the contract disputes aren't the same back then as they were now, because the money is it's so much more. There's so much more money that's out there. And that's the reason that you're seeing all of these NBA players taking this time off. And it's the reason we see it in baseball nowadays, right? Like, we talk about records never being broken. Cal Ripken's Ironman record is never being broken.
No.
Because, number one, the teams aren't going to ask their stars that are going to be making all of this guaranteed money to play that many games, right? They're going to say, no, you're going to take a day off today. But it's just a different era. It's a different generation. Do I agree with Tim Hardaway? Absolutely. Absolutely. You signed the contract. You're on the team. Now, if after the season's over and you've done everything that you could for your team, you want out, have your discussion. But in the middle of the season, I'm sorry. It's a cop-out. It's an easy way out. But the thing is, all of this has bled down into the college ranks now too, right? All of these kids that are willing and able to transfer as many times as they want to any school that they want, and it's just led to this type of behavior across the board. And I don't agree with what Butler did, and I agree with Tim Hardaway, but at the same time, like, Tim, man, you're just from a different world, dude.
What about for you, Banji?
I guess I might have a slightly different perspective.
Hey, that's what we want. That's why we're the Afternoon Underdogs and not the Colin Cowherd show.
I just think that, like, I don't know the exact details of the contract situation, right? Like, if he approached them maybe over the summer before the season started, but, like, if the conversation was happening over the summer and they couldn't get it resolved then, and it bleeds into the season, then I could kind of understand where Jimmy's at, where it's like, okay, we've been trying to do this for months now. It's not working out. Trade me, don't trade me, decide, pay me, trade me,
right,
what you need. But if it wasn't that, if it was just like, that's why I feel like contract negotiations should either, if you know you're going to get it done, and it might be the middle of the season, do it. But if you think that you're going to be asking for a lot or something like that,
if your worlds apart,
exactly. If your worlds apart, let that be in the off season.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're not, if you know, like, I don't know, I feel like with the Bengals are kind of going right now.
With T. Higgins.
We signed our punter though.
Hey, you got to take care of priorities, right? Worried about having a kicker to maybe win game-winning kicks? No, we're not worried about that. But let's make sure that we've got somebody to nail the coffin corner punts, baby.
Right. See, exactly, right? So that's where I mean, his comments, Tim Hardaway Sr.'s comments, I mean, I can understand why he thinks that, but some of these old heads needs to sit down somewhere, man. It's getting annoying at this time, man. It's like, clearly this NBA isn't like your NBA.
Yeah.
It's a difference. It's called evolution. If y'all went back to school, you might learn something. But a lot of them just went straight out of high school.
I thought it was called load management.
Oh, I'm actually on the side of Banji on this one. Not that I disagree with you wholeheartedly at all, AG, but with Banji on this one, it's something that it's the same way in the workforce, right? Like, a lot of the the generation before us and the generation before them, they worked their tail off. They, and there's nothing that we can say against that in our generation. It's just not the same world that we live in. And so, like, people who worked and not saying that the new generation doesn't work their tail off. We just have more built-in excuses.
Yeah, we're paying for their school right now, too, with our taxes. It's so great, isn't it? Nobody paid for mine. I paid mine off.
Hey, I
can't. Just facts.
I did not have any student loans. Everything I just paid for what I could pay at the time. So no one's paying for my classes at that point. But and that's a fair point. That's a fair point, Caveman Rick. What I'm saying is each generation kind of looks down on every generation, and in the world of sports. Look how we look at the younger kids these days, right? Like, with just their lingo in general. Like, when we had lingo back in the day, at least you could, like, trace it back to somehow that it made sense. The stuff that people are saying, Ohio, I still can't tell you what that means, but the fact that kids are saying, like, they say a word, Ohio.
The state?
Yeah, the state.
It's a state. It's
no,
not
I
a-
understand what the reality of Ohio is, but I'm sure there's a middle school teacher that might be listening, and he'll tell you, like, the kids. I watch these little reels on Facebook where the middle school teachers, high school teachers, even are kind of making fun of
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and making fun of the new words, the slang that the kids are using, and that's one. What was some of the other ones that, I mean, just you're like, what? Riz actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Charisma.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite. I'm like,
glazing is one I was.
yeah,
just like,
glazing. Which
like-
I mean, I guess when you think about it, but
I think a lot of it comes from like music and stuff. People are using slang, coming up with words that like rhyme and stuff that sound good, and then it catches on. You know what I mean?
I think that they just make it catch on because it's so easy to make things catch on with the hype, especially what TikTok has
Easily
these
influenced.
days. Easily influenced from the influencers, no doubt about that. What's the other one, like Skibbity Ribbity or something like that?
That one I don't get. I'm an old man.
It's
I
code
guess,
to
so.
keep it away from the parents, so the parents don't know what's going on. It's like I said in songs. Okay, you think in the 80s,
But they say the words to their parents,
I
so
know, but-
no, that's not true.
but the parents are ignorant. The parents don't know. It's
Yeah,
like-
but that's the thing, though. It's not. No, that's just how the kids talk. Maybe it originated as like, let's say these so that the kids don't know. But if you're saying the words in front of your parents, it's not code word to your parents. It's cool. Like back in my day, it was bruh. It was and bruh's like one that's used, you know. But like I remember that's fire or whatever. And
Are you kidding me? Coding's the new thing for the youngsters and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? It's like this
coding.
You know, like coding, like computer coding.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
that's like a new thing for kids.
A lot
these
of
days.
youngsters are coding and stuff like that and getting into that.
Good
kind
for
of
them.
thing.
That's
what
a
I'm
heck of a
saying, though.
career.
Jimmy on YouTube says this younger generation is weak. They want 82 game pay, but only want to play 50 games. It's a non-work ethic.
But okay, let me ask you this: if you were put into the same position and you had the opportunity to do that, you
I
got
wanna
to the
play.
position.
That's a cop-out excuse.
Okay,
Earn it.
Listen,
I wanna play.
again. I'm just
Do
telling
what
you.
you're getting paid for.
If I
You're getting
sign
paid for 82 games, not 50.
$100 million contract and like it's 82 million guaranteed, I'm retiring that same day I signed it. What?
And it's guaranteed.
And I'm out.
And you're going to get crushed for it too.
All right,
no.
like I care what
I can
anyone
buy
thinks
you.
if I got. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm getting at though, is that if I'm a player in the league now, yes, the right answer. But that's the thing is I don't want to hear what people think is right. You put yourself in those shoes, which you can't. None of us are ever going to be able to put outside of Banji. None of us are ever going to be able to put ourselves in the position of making the 100 million. I'm sorry, Banji. Probably 100 million is you know for the line of work that we've chosen. I just
Stephen A. kind of
100 million.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I guess what I'm getting at is if you have that opportunity, and it's not like every single player. That's the thing is you're taking the top 1% and putting the whole onus on them. The guys at the role playing position in the NBA are not sitting there playing. They're playing every single opportunity that they get.
So they're fighting to not get cut and then not go back
They're
to the
fringe
G League.
players.
Even
They
the guys
have to.
overseas, they're probably not even making close to what bench players are making, and
Right.
they're still fighting just to get a shot back into the league. Yeah.
100%. That's what I'm saying. So you can't take the NBA as a whole and say, well, none of them do that. No, it's
No, I'm not
just like
talking just NBA, the whole sports. Like, look at Anthony Rendon.
oh my gosh, that one.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
case that needs to be studied. Like to say that you don't even care. Well, and he never said that he didn't care about baseball. He just said baseball isn't the number one focus on his life, and he wasn't wrong in saying that. Right? If you have a family, baseball shouldn't be over your family. No, but the problem is when your actions don't come full circle to back that up, where it's like you don't even care about playing. Like in baseball, when you have a guaranteed contract, it's basically the same exact thing as retiring. We've went a few minutes over here, as we normally do when we have Banji in the building with us. And we're going to talk more local sports when we get back. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
This is the first year that I've actually kind of felt old. When you're young, your parents say, oh, I know the rain's coming, or your grandparents. I can tell that the rain's coming because my bones are hurting.
Oh, yeah.
This morning at about like 4 o'clock, I woke up out of nowhere and I'm like, what is this feeling? Then in about an hour, all hell breaks loose and it's pouring cats and dogs out there.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday.
Wednesday afternoon. The rest of the day, clouds and 56 with a moderate breeze out of the north around 14 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds with a blustery wind and a low near 39. Tomorrow, a wind out of the north 15 to 20 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 50. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 52. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
But I wonder how much time he really kind of put into the playbook.
Where it's halftime all the time.
He may be the cream of this crop of quarterbacks.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Well, they got to do something here, but otherwise this is just going to be another lost season for them.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes, along with Adam Goff. We've got Caveman Rick and, of course, Banji Bomadella. He's your sports reporter for the Panama City News Herald, and this is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Auburn Tiger basketball. Coverage starts versus Arkansas tonight at 7:30 for an 8 p.m. tip. All right, let's dive right back into local here. Is Arnold our last remaining playoff team, or do we have a ladies basketball team out there balling as well?
We have a ladies basketball team over there at Rutherford. I was at the game last night versus Newberry. They defeated them 56-46, and now Rutherford travels up to Bowles for
Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, Jacksonville for the Elite Eight matchup. So this will be the biggest test because Rutherford for the past 3 season always ends at the Elite Eight.
Oh.
But now they're in a different class because they lost to Bishop Kenny 3 straight years. Mm-hmm. Now they're in a different class. They defeated Bulls last year in the region semifinals. So I think personally that Rutherford finally gets over that Elite Eight hump, and then we finally see a Final Four team, a Bay County Final Four team. I don't know when this is the last time for basketball a Bay County team made the Final Four.
It's been a while since I can remember.
I
can't remember it personally. So that's huge for Coach Tony Davis and the Rutherford Rams, and they've been playing their tail off.
I just find it weird that the way that FHSAA does it, where coming from Kentucky, we always had the Sweet 16. Right, like that was where you were trying to get to, and it didn't matter what district you were in, what class you were in, whatever. It was the Sweet 16. So if you had Rockcastle County that actually had some talent back in the day when I lived there.
RCC.
But, you had all these different teams that were coming from all over the state, and they would always play in Rupp Arena in Lexington. And it was those 16 teams. It wasn't like, okay, well, in Jacksonville we have this 8. In Gainesville or wherever we have this 8. Right. It was one.
Well, you're in a bigger state now, buddy.
I get
Very
it.
true.
I get it, but I feel like maybe we're missing an opportunity here to kind of get these kids some extra time, extra exposure. Maybe take what division is the what?
Rutherford 3A. Yeah.
Okay, so Rutherford's 3A. So they're 3A. Match them up against the 4A champ. Let them play. Whoever wins that goes on to play the
So get rid of
1 and 2
regional
or whatever. No, play them all.
Play them all. Just
get them more exposure.
Hey, I mean, and for the women's game right now,
involved.
There is. But for the women's game, I think that's even more so important, right? Like more exposure because you're seeing WNBA finally starting to grow some. Now, is that cash growing, or is it just like growing in popularity? Most of the times, those 100%. That right, like the growth of the WNBA is huge. But why is the WNBA booming? Because college basketball started booming, because the women's game of college basketball, what Dawn Staley's been able to do over there at South Carolina, what Caitlin Clark's been able to do, what Juju Watkins is doing over there at USC, what Paige Buckets is doing over there at UConn. I mean, the fact that we're able to, like 10 years ago, am I able to name this many women college basketball players and or professional athletes at the same time? It would have been harder. Now, I think Sports Illustrated for Kids back in the day did a really good job at, like, you know, the Lisa Leslies and the Candace Parkers and all of that good stuff. There was
Maya Moore.
Yeah, Maya Moore. Yeah, Diana Taurasi. Yeah, I mean, there's Sue Bird. That just reminds me. Who the heck is Sue Bird?
There's been a number of them, but and so I think that's a good thing. But like I said, getting back to the original topic, I would love to see them kind of do a champion of champion.
That's what I was wondering. Me and the News Herald photographer Tyler Osborne, we were talking about how if Arnold, being national champion, why can't we have like a tournament once all state championship games are done where national champion of Florida faces like the national champion of Georgia, or not national champion, but each state champion, like the Class 4A state champion over here in Florida faces the Class 4A champion in Georgia. Like, let's have like a
bracket them up in 50, baby.
Exactly right.
Well, I mean, you could even keep it regionally to start, right? Like if you wanted to take
the Southeast,
Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, maybe Louisiana, and then pocket them all together into a tournament. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, go all the way across go all the way across.
And sometimes you could find it like in the regular season, they might schedule like an out-of-state team, but then it's like you might only get one or two of those each season. You can't get,
and that's a lot of money for those teams to be traveling too. Like, and the schools have to pay for that. Even the little amount, I say the little amount, the amount that they're doing now, like that, they have to do fundraising and all of that, and it's not easy.
We're in the worst location because they want to do all the state championship games down south, and it's like, so we're gonna have to take a 6-hour drive just to go win this title. But like, okay, if Arnold, let's say Arnold Soccer wins it back to back. I was talking with County AD Josh Latch about it yesterday, and he was talking about how his bid to host the state championship got denied. But I'm just like, Tommy Oliver would be a solid location.
One of the best stadiums, not just in the country, but obviously in the state of Florida as well.
Like, I'm just like, have some middle ground, because having to go all the way to Orlando or Miami for the football state championships, it's like,
I think the problem is that when you look at like that Gainesville area and all around north of Orlando, man, there's not much there. It's all swampland, right? So you have to get past all that before you get to civilization.
True.
So I think that's more of a geographical thing than it is anything, unfortunately. But no, you're right. I mean, move it around. How about you get a chance to host it, get yourself some more money, right?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, in that sense, where break it down into fourths.
Sure.
Where you would kind of be up here in the Panhandle, then you would move east over there towards Jacksonville, and somewhere in the Gainesville to Tampa area, and then down south.
Get a boat, man. They play the games on the aircraft
there
carrier,
you go.
right?
And we'll play it in the Gulf of America.
That's
there we go.
Move it around. You just go up.
Perfect.
Go to where you need to go.
Trump will lay in, what do you call it? Air Force One right there on it. Like, okay, another sporting event for the president. Awesome. Oh, my goodness. Baseball, though, has been, as we've already talked about Arnold and the powerhouse that they are. They took care of business sweeping out Mosley. They beat them on Saturday, then beat them again last night. What are the power rankings looking like right now for Bay County baseball?
So I still have North Bay Haven at 6, Rutherford at 5, but now I would say I have Mosley at 4. They moved down from the number 3 spot. I have Bay just ahead of them. They had a great win last night. I forget who they were playing, but it was a great win. The starting pitcher had 14 strikeouts. It was a solid win. And then
was it 7 innings?
Yeah, they're all 7 innings.
That's
Freeport, yeah. So it was a great win, and like Bay's gonna be up there. Bay's gonna be up. Mosley still, because they have a young team. It's gonna take time for Mosley to get up there. The fact that they even were not the fact that they were competitive yesterday with Arnold, but the fact that it was 6-4. It's the fact that they were still in that game with such a young squad.
Yeah,
I do believe that they're gonna make some noise maybe later on in the season. And then I still have Arnold at 2. I still have Arnold at 2 because I do believe because I went up there to Bozeman where they played Destin. They had the 20-year celebration alumni thing. It was a pretty great event, seeing all from 2007 all the way to 2024, just seeing the amount of district championships, seeing the amount of wins and all that from these classes. It's an amazing thing because Bozeman, in reality, it's a very small school. Like, they've been 1A, I believe, since inception. So it's one of those things that they've been to 2 state championships. There are 17 straight playoff appearances. It's one thing that Coach Patton, he's done a heck of a job over there. I'm going to keep them at number 1 because I truly believe once Bozeman and Arnold play, I feel like that'll probably decide the county.
There you go. Now, do we have any baseball games to be looking forward to throughout this week?
I know tonight Bozeman is hosting South Walton at the Public Sports Park. And then I believe Mosley's on the road at Lincoln tomorrow. Not Mosley. Is it? No.
I think Mosley tomorrow has Bay.
Yeah, Mosley tomorrow has Bay. I think Arnold, I think, has Lincoln on the road.
Looks like
you let me know.
Yeah, I'm literally right now pulling up. You got Bozeman and Bay on Friday. I'm not seeing Arnold. And again, I don't 100% trust. I mean, you just tomorrow. Yes, Arnold on the road taking on Lincoln. 6:30. Battle of undefeateds there at 3-0. So Arnold will be hitting the road taking on Tallahassee there. And North Bay Haven tomorrow is on the road taking on Destin, and then Mariana 2-1. We've talked about their football program, their basketball program. They've been having a year in the world of athletics. How about our power rankings for softball?
So for softball at 6, I have Rutherford, Bay at 5, Mosley at 4, Bozeman at 3, Arnold at 2, and North Bay Haven at 1. They've had 3 home games this week, and they've already won 2 of them, and they're looking like they're going to make another deep playoff run. Not saying that Arnold won't, but I'm just saying that North Bay Haven, as a squad, is looking pretty good.
Now, has Arnold played a game yet?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, because I'm looking on Max Preps here, and it says that they are 0-0 because they have a game tonight taking on the Mosley Dolphins, and that'll be over there at Mosley at 6 p.m. So any other games to look forward to here from the world of softball? Doesn't seem like there's a whole bunch. Maybe on Friday. You got Arnold hosting Destin, so that'll be game 2 for them. Then North Bay Haven's going to be hosting South Walton, 6 p.m. Bay will be on the road. These are all Friday. Bay will be on the road at at 6 p.m. Bay hasn't played a game yet either. So, we got Arnold. We've got Bozeman and South Walton tonight. Yeah. We've got a litany of games that we've listed for you guys this week. How about Banji's baller of the week?
My baller of the week, I would say it's Ava Butler, the shooting guard over there at Rutherford. She started the game 3 for 3 from 3, and that kind of paced the game for the Lady Rams, and she kept on hitting threes from then on. I believe they made 7 3-pointers in the first quarter, and they just kind of coasted, and she was a big reason for that. So Ava Butler is my baller of the week.
Hey, there we go. What any other sports that maybe I haven't brought up? Track and field, weightlifting. What are some other happenings going on right now?
Oh yeah, boys weightlifting is going strong. I believe Arnold and Bay had a meet yesterday. And then track and field this season's also going good. I think they were at Childs on the 15th. So, yeah, track and field's going on. Boys weightlifting's going on. Softball, baseball, girls basketball still going on. Boys soccer still going on. So we still have plenty of sports around here in Bay County.
All right. Good stuff. Beji, you got anything for Banji?
No, just curious. Are you going to cover any Florida Gulf Coast teams, anything like that? Or do you try to stick to the high school?
I'm looking at it. It's like it's a work in progress.
I mean, it's not like you're busy or anything.
Yeah, exactly, right? But there's still so many stories that are still like hanging in my email that I still need to come and do. So yeah, it's I'm gonna get there eventually.
When are you gonna write a story on your time with the Afternoon Underdogs? Like the behind the scenes with the Afternoon Underdogs, written by Banji.
Oh, and you know what? Y'all could like post it up here too and everything.
Yeah, we
That'd be
could.
kind of cool. Get it framed. It could be coming. It's pending.
It's pending. It's another one hanging in the email that hasn't necessarily made it to the email yet. But Banji, you do such a great job for coverage of high school sports in this area. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate everything that you bring to the table. Now, so anything track and field getting ready to go?
Yes, sir. They had one meet. It was over there at Childs, but yeah, it's the beginnings of the season.
Man, so all Bay County teams, all of them went over to Childs. Is that kind of how it goes? Is every team kind of goes to the same place?
Sometimes in some of the events, kind of, because like Mosley hosts mini meets, Bozeman hosts a meet, so like it's.
What's the difference in a mini meet and a regular meet?
There's certain like meets that qualifies
portion
for
size.
There's meets that qualify for like region qualification or district qualification. So it's like, there's certain meets that are like sanctioned by FHSAA where it's like wherever you finish here gets put towards if you qualify for region or district or state competition.
That doesn't sound confusing at all.
Man, it's hard, man. It's a lot of new stuff to learn. It's a cool process though.
What's been the toughest sport for you to not to learn the sport in and of itself, but just the way that things because like volleyball, right? Like I didn't, that one's a tough one. Soccer is not something that I grew up learning. Now I've learned about it because I played the video game FIFA and I watched the World Cup, right? But with weightlifting, like, and they've got traditional and Olympic and wrestling with Greco and all of that. So it's, I mean, right? I was saying sport, you're like, and then you're like wondering, okay, how do these point systems work?
For real, wrestling it's tough because like, what's a fall, but then what's a pin? A pin,
yeah.
And I'm just wrestling is one. Volleyball at first, when trying to figure out what digs and kills were, I was a little bit confused, but over time, you kind of just. A Google search also helps with all this, but initially you're just like, wait, what? Golf is probably the easiest because it's like, I mean, you either get par, birdie, eagle.
Except for Tiger last night.
Yeah.
Well,
on the TGL.
How's your club selection?
Yeah. And you know what's cool about that, though? Had that been, on a regular golf course, Tiger's probably breaking the club over someone's head.
He's not the one picking the club. His caddy is, though, too.
Exactly.
He's got a caddy that's there. They're going, you sure?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
But he was like, how far do I got to go? 99. And he heard 99, but it was actually 199. And all the guys were sitting back there laughing like, why is he's got to hit a wedge 200 yards? I mean, it is Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
It is Tiger Woods. But no, glad to see him back and kind of in good spirits after the passing of his mom and all of that stuff.
Well,
so
honestly, like we all like to see our sports icons, heroes, have those kinds of moments, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we really do. Like, I can remember watching, golf events, big major events, and you see a professional golfer that shouldn't be hitting some of the shots that I hit, and then they shank one or they hit a worm burner, and you just kind of laugh and you go, I've done that. Like, what?
It's like, you're
how
human.
are these guys doing this? Like, I do this all the time. How are these guys doing this?
Oh, yeah.
But to see that from Tiger, it kind of brings him down to, I don't want to say our level, because obviously he's not our level, but
I'd love to be at that level.
but
I'd love to be at your level of golf, dadgummit.
Well, but there's definitely a human factor there where you go, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, seeing Jordan airball all those times, it was just something that.
Oh!
Yeah.
Throw the shade up, baby.
You have to be on the court.
I know.
And
That's Banji's fitting in with us perfectly, man. Oh, man. Absolutely love that. But, yeah, it's one of those things, and I think people forget it all the time. I mean, when you're a kid, there's no way that you can understand that athletes are humans, too. But the fact that people live into their 50s and the 60s, 50s and their 60s, and then they're, like, never realizing that these guys are, just because they're held to this pedestal, like, you go to the, general of the United States Army or whatever, like, that's still a human being, too.
Yeah.
Right? And they have things that are going on outside of their career. Is there the balance that we wish we all had? Yes, we all want that. But does it happen? Do bad things happen? Do things that you don't expect happen? And that is why we've got to treat our fellow human beings with grace and with mercy as well. Like, exactly.
When they mess up your Chipotle order, don't yell at them.
Exactly.
Everybody's human. They make mistakes.
All you do is either just shut your mouth and eat it.
I just go to Barbaritos and they always get it right.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Or I know Barbaritos used to be, not currently a sponsor, and they're good. Barbaritos is real good. I'm a Moe's guy though, man.
There's none here though.
Yeah,
There used to be.
Wait,
Where?
there's not anymore.
The one by Best Buy is closed.
No.
Yeah.
You must not be that much of a Moe's guy if you don't know one's
Yeah,
here
right.
anymore.
Exactly.
Of the four,
Come on, dude.
of the four, how long have they been closed for?
Since I've been here, I've
At
been
least a
looking for
year.
it.
Maybe
it's been
2
a while.
years then.
At least a year.
Well, I'm also not over there. Like, hey, listen, I'm broke, all right? I'm not eating out all the time, all right? So please forgive me. It's been one of my favorite pizza places is famous New York right over there. And that same, tell me that's gone.
No, it's still
I mean,
there.
we're here in Panama City where, like, look, Rudy's, how long did that last? Okay, guys, give me a daggone break for 1 second.
Bring back Moe's.
Bring back Moe's. That's what we're screaming in the building this afternoon. You guys see, and look, I'm not even giving no free plugs away because there's nothing there. We need to plug a Moe's back into the same old location. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back after this.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday afternoon. The rest of the day, clouds and 56 with a moderate breeze out of the north around 14 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds with a blustery wind and a low near 39. Tomorrow, a wind out of the north 15 to 20 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 50. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 52. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
If you have a stucco home, a leak is your biggest enemy. Cracks, missing pieces, soft spots, and moisture on the walls are signs that your stucco needs repair. So who do you call? Marinate Construction and Stucco Repair checks all the boxes. Local, family-owned, reliable, trustworthy, and experienced. Marinate Construction and Stucco Repair actually shows up when they say they will. If your stucco makes you say, uh-oh, call Marinate Construction and Stucco today. 850-387-9851.
He's so old, he buys his clothes at the same store he buys his groceries.
Are you wearing a grocery bag?
I talk sports in my underwear. I'm gonna wear nothing but a thong and a top hat.
Caveman Rick is part of the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're back, and this is our final segment of the first hour. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for select Orlando Magic games, and you're riding along in the doghouse with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes, along with Fano, also known as Adam Goff, Caveman Rick, and Banji Bomandela. He is the sports reporter for the Panama City News Herald.
Are we getting Braves games back on the year?
Oh, you already know it. And we have a few more opportunities for some sponsorship packages, which is a year-long gig. If you'd like
that
to...
segue, Banji.
Yeah.
Look at it.
If you guys would like to sign on, do it with me. Just text me at 850-205-6290. I think I've only made like 3 sales since I've been here.
Daddy needs a new tire.
Yeah, straight up, bro. Straight up. I'm riding on the spare right now, and I don't know how much longer it's gonna fare. Help me get a tire, ladies and gentlemen. Get your business mentioned on Atlanta Braves games.
Spring training this weekend, like games. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah? What game are you the most excited about from spring training? Which we'll talk more about that at 5 o'clock, though, because I have some questions lined up for you, prospects. And I don't know if you've looked at it yet, but I'm going to start a new segment with you at 5 o'clock till we get back to football called 4 Questions for Fano.
All right, heard.
Yeah. but we'll probably have to add more than 4 questions sometimes, unless unless we just bring the conversation into
When
it.
When does anything ever go to plan when we're talking?
Never. Banji, you're learning that week by week. He's like, I don't know. Remember you guys telling me, be prepared for a... This is just to give me something to write on, honestly. That's about all it's here for. Let's see. We were talking a little bit about the draft, but some of the quarterback questions around the NFL, all the coaching positions have been filled in the NFL. What do the Jets do at quarterback? Let's start with UAG, then we'll filter over there.
I'll
to
tell
Banshee.
you what they should do is they should go get the guy that's climbing the ranks right now in the quarterback room,
Aaron Rodgers.
Tyler Shook from Louisville. Todd McShay did an entire video on him on his podcast.
You're being serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
They're calling him either the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in the draft.
And again, Banji, nothing goes to playing around here.
But no, I honestly, I said it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you did.
I said Tyler Shook can make all the throws. He's athletic. His only issue is he was injury prone in college, and he's older. He's 25, I think, right now, maybe 26. But at the same time, if you take a team, what did we see from Bo Nix this year with Denver, right?
Okay.
Everybody kind of balked at it. They're like, well, he's old, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? Tyler Shook is, I think, in that same mode. I don't think he's as athletic as Bo Nix, but he has that same kind of mental game, right? So I think if you're the Jets, you don't go and just recycle some of these old QBs, right, that have been around the league for years. Go get you an older quarterback that's a veteran from the college game and Tyler Shook, somebody that can actually deliver the ball to these young wide receivers and these running backs. And rather than, I think, take a flyer on a potential, I think the ceiling is higher, obviously, with Sanders and with Cam Ward and even Jackson Dart. But I feel like your floor is a lot better with Tyler Shook.
What's his projection?
Right now, he's 2nd to 3rd round.
Oh, okay.
But going into the combine, he has already said, I will be there and I will be throwing 100%.
He needs it, yeah. But because I haven't heard.
Yeah, he needs the exposure, right?
Yeah.
He does.
I haven't heard his name until today, so.
I wouldn't have either, outside of having a resident Louisville guy.
Yesterday on, I think, NFL Live, but I heard him as being the 8th best quarterback prospect.
Well, and those fluctuate so much. And if you're a Louisville,
24 hours.
Todd has him as 3rd or 4th.
No, exactly.
So,
no, 100%. You know that we're just kind of busting your chops a little bit here. But as an Alabama guy, I'm not going to sit there and I love Jalen Milroe as what he brings as a human being. Mm-hmm. But I think he did not do himself any justice any really movement upwards, much more downwards throughout the regular season. Mm-hmm. In the game against Michigan, and then at the Senior Bowl is I've watched it. They have the little highlight reels where you can watch every single pass from it because I don't know what I was doing on the Senior. Yeah, he was just digging his hole a little bit deeper. My goodness, man, it's not looking good. And now because he's so bad at passing, he's so bad at short to medium accuracy passes, which is your bread and butter in the NFL, right? You could throw the ball deep all you want. You're going to end up like Will Levis, like Anthony Richardson, right? Yeah. And when they're able to shut you down in that 0 to 15 yard, 0 to 10 yard range,
like a Dak Prescott.
They can key in on you. For your mobility purposes. So, I don't know. I wish the best for Jalen Milroe. As bad as people want to hate on him for how the season went there at Alabama, that wasn't 100% his fault.
So where do you think
an offense and a defense.
Let me ask you this. As an Alabama fan, Jalen Milroe's going into the draft. Where would you like to see him go?
What would be best for him?
What would be the most... Like Lamar Jackson going to Baltimore was the most optimal thing for him, right? Falling that late into the first round. See, but Purdy's going to have that 4 to 5 year deal. So I don't necessarily.
He needs 4 to 5 years to develop.
I don't think so. For me, it's.
You think Jalen Milroe
going to play right away?
No. Oh, okay. Hear me out. I think for me, if I'm Jalen Milroe, I'm praying to go to Seattle.
Okay, so
you
you're
got
right behind
great
Geno
young wide
Smith.
receivers, a good running back room. You're sitting behind Geno Smith, a veteran
But
for
you're
the
also
next
sitting
couple of
behind
years.
Sam Howell at that point, too.
Sam Howell isn't going to be there in 2 years.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think like a place like Seattle, I think would be really ideal for somebody like Jalen Milroe to where he can go and learn. Because what did Geno do coming out of West Virginia? He really struggled throwing the ball, right?
He was
a
at the Jets,
runner.
too.
Jets, though, yeah.
Obviously, but he still
Sam Darnold was
struggled.
seeing ghosts, and then this year he was the ghost.
So, but it took him a few years to figure it out. Who better to teach Jalen Milroe than Geno Smith about those struggles?
I'm with you there, or wherever maybe a Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. Like, because if do we think Russell Wilson's going to be a Steeler in 2025?
I don't.
What do you think, Banshee?
No.
I think they stick with Justin Fields. Go with the younger guy. It's more mobile.
And the Bears should have held on to. I think that the Bears should have held on to Justin Fields to give Caleb Williams a little bit of breathing room. This is how the NFL goes. I think Justin Fields is more than capable of leading a team to a 9-win season. Is that playoffs or not? I don't necessarily know. However, Jalen Milroe, Justin Fields, very similar in that aspect. And the
I think
aspect-
Fields is a way better passer.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But what I'm saying is that they are Justin Fields much better passer, but Jalen Milroe could learn from him. You can get better at passing. Just because you're trash right now, you can get better.
Yeah.
But you have to really put your focus and your time and effort into that as well.
It's not like Fields is like a veteran though or anything.
No,
4 years.
He's not. But I mean, from where he was his first year as the Chicago Bears quarterback to the second, I mean, the Bears had a better year the year prior to getting Caleb Williams, right? The final year of Justin Fields, and there was times when he went down to injury, and you had Tyson Bagent taking over, and they were all right at that point.
Put Milroe behind Josh Allen.
I mean, okay. Talk about 4 or 5 years with. I'm
just saying. We just want him to learn.
That's fine.
Isn't Trubisky still there?
He is.
Yeah. Pro Bowler Mitch Trubisky. We cannot ever forget that.
Shoehorn everybody. Freaking Drake May was a Pro Bowler this year.
Yeah.
I like Drake May.
I think, if you're the Patriots, I think you're in a pretty daggum good position. Like, you can let Jacoby Brissett go. Right? And I think that really helped out Drake May, was having Jacoby Brissett take the first snaps of the year, right? And be able to learn from him. And then Drake May takes over, and then you see in week 18, Joe Milton III coming out, and look at the game he had. Like, was it a throwaway game? You can make that argument. Yeah, it was, but the kid still looked really good. Yeah. I mean, I think that he had some times at Tennessee where he shined well as well.
Who's the backup for the Chargers?
Easton
Cameron
Stick is there.
I think it's Easton Stick.
But he was hurt when
I was going to
Herbert
say
went
Cameron
out.
Dicker, the kicker.
Because I'm like, that wouldn't be too bad either.
Who's going to go to the Saints if Derek Carr goes? Jalen Milroe, baby. I just,
somebody like the Browns will probably draft him.
Yeah.
Because they're full of making mistakes on quarterback.
Well, I don't know. I mean, unless they go the Washington football team route of taking RG3 and Kirk Cousins that same year.
It's actually Taylor Heineke's over there.
Yeah, I think
for the Chargers.
Browns.
I like him, man.
I think the Browns ended up taking probably forward this year.
He's in spurts.
Spurts.
He's got spurtability.
He's to me like a Baker Mayfield, man. Plays with a chip on his shoulder, and when
Baker's too good now
people are looking down on him, it seems like he does pretty good. But then when people are expecting things out of him, great things, that's when he falters and he fails.
Say what you just said, though.
Baker's too good now to be comparing him to like a Heineke.
I do agree with that.
Baker's evolved. I'm
Baker and the Rams. I agree. Right? Like I think that's a comparable.
Wasn't he
thing.
there for one game?
It was like half of the year.
Yeah, he was there, but like really, he was kind of.
But I'm saying, at that time of his career, he was in that same mold. Like he's going to be a journeyman. That's what we all thought.
Him and Darnold were competing for the spot in Carolina. And
That's wild. Some of the stops that these guys make, you're like, I forgot that they were even there. I mean, Andy Dalton is back with
Carolina for 2 more years.
Yeah, 2 more years. $8 million.
How does he still have a job, man?
Bryce Young messes up, and then he's still got a job. To me, if I was going to be in the NFL, it would be as a backup quarterback.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if I had my choice, I would much rather. I don't want to be the face of your franchise. I want you to pay me like I
Chase
could
Daniel
be the face.
making $100 million to do nothing except hold a clipboard.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe every now and again you go out there and you hold the kick, whatever. All right, hey, listen, look at what happened with Tony Romo, right? Like he messed up a couple
hold the kick.
Oh man,
was that against Seattle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was against Seattle in the playoffs. Des Bryant, that catch. Which different game? This was against Green Bay. Was it a catch? You can't see
what we're
it
talking
in your
about?
mind right now.
I know I'm young, but I ain't that young. And also they bring it up like every year. Or something. Like, he's still mad about it.
He should be. It was 100% a catch. We'll have to watch the video next week. How about we do that?
I mean, I'm going through it in my brain because he reached down.
Yeah, he reached out, and then that's when the ball hit the ground. Is after he made the football move, baby.
But did he have full possession?
That's what we'll do a breakdown, a live breakdown.
What is
Banji's
possession?
breakdown right here on the Afternoon Underdogs. Banji, as always, so much fun to have you in with us, my man. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Coming up next, we're going to dive into some baseball with Adam Goff. We've got 4 questions for Fano.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Last weekend, the number 1 Auburn Tigers took care of business against Alabama. Next, Auburn returns to the jungle to face their next challenge, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coverage coming up tonight at 7:30. Tip-off at 8 on your home for college basketball and the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday afternoon. The rest of the day, clouds and 56 with a moderate breeze out of the north around 14 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds with a blustery wind and a low near 39. Tomorrow, a wind out of the north 15 to 20 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 50. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 52. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
The next evolution in sports talk radio. It's the Afternoon Underdogs.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Weekdays from 4 till 6. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hour number 2 of the Afternoon Underdogs, and this is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the home for the Coach James Hale Show in the morning. You can listen weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Great show there. They cover all of high school sports, and of course, your daily dose of SEC football. Doesn't matter if we're in the off season, and they cover baseball. They cover other collegiate sports as well. But if you want to talk football, if you want a gang that is talking a lot of college football and doing a great job at it, the Coach James Hale Show. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. You can like and share the Facebook feed and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can download the app and register all at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Just go to your Google Play Store or your Apple App Store. We got Morgan Hilliard in the house with us. What's going on, Mo?
It's a beautiful Wednesday.
Is it?
I know that. It's not beautiful outside, but it's beautiful in my
The
heart.
pink brightens it up, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
For
You
all
got
our
windshield
outdoor
Beautiful
viewers.
in the doghouse, right?
Is that new?
Yeah, we got the new Barbie cup.
Okay.
Great addition to my collection.
You need to get one that says Morgan, and Barbie, but like Morgan is in the same font as Barbie.
Oh, what about like Mo Barbie?
Mo Barbie.
Mo Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get like an apostrophe.
How about Morby?
Okay, Morby.
Okay.
What is isn't that something?
I'm pretty sure
Morbies?
it's like those little beads that like you
Those are
put in
Orbeez.
water.
Oh,
those are Orbeez.
But if you add an M, you have more Morbies. Great stuff there, Morgan.
Judge Rick said overruled.
Yeah, I forgot. On Wednesdays, you're a judge.
Real. From 5 to 6, you can tune in to Judge Rick.
Judge Rick.
I need my own show.
Yeah, you got Caveman Rick and Judge Rick.
Who's going to be the bailiff?
I think AG.
Yeah, there you go.
all right.
And then me and David will be your
Attorneys?
The
your
attorneys?
attorneys. You'll
Okay.
have
What
the
kind of
defense.
cases are we taking? They got like divorce
You're
court
defense
already.
and I'm the state.
I don't know. What do you want to
The
be?
state of ESPN. I don't know. You know a lot more about law than I do, so I would stand to lose a lot
I
of
think
those
she
cases.
wipes the floor with you, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, let me be the
100%.
defense.
Especially if we're really doing law at this point. Like, we're going to need to, if we're doing sports, I'm going to have to, all right, well, what do you know about cricket?
Law and Order Underdogs.
Not a real sport.
Careful. We do have a contingency around here who, they're probably not listening, though.
A lot of them, I feel like if you're tuning in this specific hour, you should be it should already be known the most unhinged thing you're ever going to hear all day is about to come out.
This is true.
That's facts. And we're going to probably be talking some college baseball. How excited were you for college baseball to get underway?
What a beautiful weekend for college baseball,
College sports in general, but yes.
College sports in general, yes. But specifically, in my personal view, college baseball, it was great. You had Duke and Cincinnati. You had Texas and Louisville, which I had to text AG, and I texted you. There was a lot of good games being played, and I was really sad last night because our midweek got canceled due to inclement weather. But all of those things combined, it was great that the sport is back, and I get to watch what I love. I don't know about y'all, but I'm in.
Hey, the ping of the aluminum bat is great. We got more on college baseball coming up with Mo's notes from the Burnerverse and, of course, college baseball. This is going to be 4 questions with Fano, a new little segment we're going to be starting. So if you have any questions, I know that we just got a listener's question in a few minutes ago pertaining to the NFL. We'll try to make some time for that. But for AG, let's start with Major League Baseball. We're getting ready for spring training here. Pitchers and catchers have reported, I believe, next week spring training games started, right?
This weekend coming up, you got games. Yep.
Wow, so it is upon us, and March 27th is when the season is going to be started, which the Braves season is going to be ending. I believe all of Major League Baseball is actually ending before the 1st of October this year.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Barring any
of course, the rain out, all of that good stuff. It was kind of funny whenever I was putting in the Braves schedule for our live programming and whatnot. I just changed one date, and all the days on the left side of the spreadsheet just fell right in line. I didn't even have to change, which is very easy.
We don't tell Randy that because it seems like it's easier to do, and you.
No, I still have to type out all of the. It's 162
Randy, if
games.
you're listening, he is not talking seriously. He did all his work.
I will say that because we, again, thoughts and prayers with Ryan Mulvey. His surgery did go well. They said that the surgeon said that he believes he got it all. He's recovering right now. So thoughts and prayers again with the Mulvey family, and again with Jamal Smith and his family as his mom underwent breast surgery this afternoon. But back to Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I felt like there was something else I was going to say before I just dove into that. Because that we didn't have the inside drive. It normally takes me when we have the inside drive to do the Braves schedule like 2 to 3 days because I have to just do what I can during the show. It took me like 2 hours because I was just able to do.
Not nice for the circumstances, but nice that it only
No,
took
100%. I'd much rather be hanging out with the boys, Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley. Back to 4 questions with Fano. We're talking about Major League Baseball spring training, and you are, because of your fandom of baseball cards, you're a guy who has his eye on prospects. So who are some prospects that we should be having an eye on, not necessarily from the perspective of collecting, but for guys that could be called up to some of our favorite Major League Baseball teams this year?
Well, I mean, do you want me to go like by division, or do you want me to just go pick
I want
a
you
few?
to just give me
biggest
5 to 10.
The biggest name right
You don't
now,
have to be so
obviously,
specific, agent. No, I'm just
the
kidding.
biggest name, obviously, right now is Roki Sasaki for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Right, and what he's going to be able to do in that Dodgers like 10-man rotation that they seemingly have. But outside of that, you're looking at Roman Anthony, outfielder for the Boston Red Sox, really, really heralded prospect for the Red Sox. That's somebody that everybody's kind of keeping an eye on. Christian Campbell for the Red Sox as well, up-and-coming second baseman. He was taken in the 23 draft. One that I'm interested to see is Davison De Los Santos.
Oh, that's a great baseball name right
for the
there.
Marlins.
Okay. So he'll be traded after next year.
No, they traded for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is past year. So he came up as a D-back, then was traded, or it was a Rule 5 pick of the Cleveland Guardians, but he ended up not making the roster, so that means he reverts back to the Diamondbacks.
Gotcha.
But then the Diamondbacks have since traded him to the Marlins. And the Marlins is a team that I'm really kind of keeping an eye on this year, particularly Davison De Los Santos. The dude he just hits absolute bombs. So he's going to be at first base over there for the Marlins. So I'm curious to see how that kid does, not only spring training, but for the season. Another kid I'm watching is a young kid, and I say young, he's 19. His name is Bryce Eldridge. He was drafted in 23 as well. He's 6'7" and about 220. He pitches as well as hits, but right now the Giants are focusing on the hitting side of things, kind of saving his arm. But the kid's an absolute stud. So I'm curious to see if he gets some run at first base over there for the Giants as well. One name that I would have been excited to see, and I know this is going to come as a shock to some of my guys that are, with me on the Yellow W, is Jordan Lawler for the Diamondbacks. He was a kid that was taken in the 21 draft and has just not been able to stay healthy and live up to the high ranks and the thoughts that everybody has. But it was kind of shocking, but because Geraldo Perdomo, their current shortstop, just signed a 4-year, $45 million deal. So where does that leave Lawler, right? So that's where I'm intrigued by that situation to see what they do with him. I feel like he's a great trade candidate.
Give me a Braves prospect.
Drake Baldwin, catcher.
Okay, yeah, he had a monster year last year, didn't he?
So I'm curious to see what that kid can do coming up in spring training, because you all have a hole now with D'Arnaud. Obviously, you still have Sean Murphy there.
And Trump.
Yeah.
Chadwick Trump.
I don't know, man.
He's not no Travis D'Arnaud.
I'm also curious to see if Nacho Alvarez can get it going. He struggled mightily for you all last year in the bigs. He was kind of a big name too, so I'm curious to see
if your name is Nacho in baseball, you gotta be good.
Yeah. And then also with the Braves, everything's pitching, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Hurston Waldrop made his debut in Washington last year, and he really struggled, then went on the injured list. Obviously, you have A.J. Smith-Shawver. Spencer Schwellenbach is another one I think the Braves fans should be looking forward to as well. And then Jimmy posted on here, Dylan Cruz.
Yeah.
He's Go Tigers.
Nationals, yeah.
Right, for the Nationals. James Wood is another one in the outfield for the Nationals. And Brooks Lee for the Twins is another one that I'm looking forward to. But my sneaky, I know this is probably early for our show because I know we're probably going to do like a baseball preview show, but my kind of sneaky under the radar rookie of the year for the National League is Connor Norby for the Marlins.
Okay.
Traded from the Orioles.
Norby. It's not a normie type name right there, so we'll keep an eye on him. Smart of the Bengals. We'll move on to question 2 in our 4 questions of Fano segment here. Our 4 Fano. Smart of the Bengals. Was it smart of the Bengals, which they haven't officially done yet, right? But
until today or tomorrow.
Yeah. So the question here: do you think it would behoove the Cincinnati Bengals to franchise tag T. Higgins?
100%. Because it keeps him in the building, right?
For another year.
Well, in terms of being able to renegotiate.
Now, did they franchise tag him
last year? This is the last time they can do it.
So they can't do it anymore, right? And with that,
and he still gets paid.
It's $26.1 million.
Right.
So it's not anything to sneeze at. But what it does is it gives the Bengals time to still renegotiate that potential long-term contract. And what it also does is it also puts a sort of bounty on him for other teams to trade for, right? So now that he has a second franchise tag, now you're looking at teams know what their minimum is to trade for him, right? Because the NFL sets that policy. It's not necessarily the Bengals. Now, the Bengals can choose to take less than whatever the NFL policy states, but at that moment, that's what the minimum would be. So you know what you would get out of him if you were to trade him.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to keep T. Higgins, especially you saw from him down the stretch how much he means to Joe Burrow and, of course, the Cincinnati Bengals. Really, the Bengals need to focus on the defense, but you can't let T. Higgins go in this process.
And it makes me mad when I listen to ESPN Northwest Florida because here I am. I've been saying this for I don't know how long.
Wait, when you listen to what?
That's what I
ESPN
just
Northwest
said.
Florida, and I hear all these. Can I finish? Can I finish, Larry? Can I finish?
Yes. Okay.
All right, Ross Bro.
Right, there you go. See, Rick's no.
Objection.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
So I'm listening to all these national pundits out here talking, and they're like, well, if I'm the Bengals, and I see all these, I'm a Bengals fan, and I see Philadelphia, they just win a Super Bowl. They've got Jalen Hurts signed for a big deal. Barkley signed for a big deal. Brown, Smith, all these big-time guys are all signed for a big deal, and they're still able to do what they're able to do. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So don't give me these excuses if you're the Bengals ownership of telling me that you can't have all of these guys signed and still compete. You just got to spend the money.
That wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
Right, exactly. But you just got to spend the money. But that's the problem is when you look across
You also
the
have to
league,
draft really good, and that's what Howie Roseman and the Eagles
and
have
that's
done.
what I was getting to.
And good free agents.
I'll just keep my mouth shut over
That's
here.
what I was getting to,
Just
right?
let the man speak. Let the man speak.
You have 4 scouts, and Duke Tobin, our GM, is our entire scouting department. That's it.
Spend some more money in the front office.
And that's the thing, is they don't have the ability or the want to do that. And that's what I think irritates most Bengals fans is we know it can be done. We just saw it. We just watched it. The Philadelphia Eagles did it. I'm not saying that the franchises are comparable. Not at all. But you
Not
can't
even
tell me.
close.
No, I know. But you can't even tell me. Sorry. But you can't tell me that you can't pay all these guys and still be successful.
I like your use of the word bounty there, by the way. I really liked how you put that. That's fantastic.
Now he's working for ICE.
Yeah, for real. No, AG, great verbiage. Like that.
Great. Are you done?
Great
I don't want to
verbiage.
step
Sorry,
on your toes
the
anymore.
judge will object you. You better be careful over there.
He'll put me in contempt of studio.
I can throw you out.
Well, the good thing I have keys to most of the doors in the
We'll
building.
have to
so I'll
call
be able to
Banji
get out.
back as the bailiff so he can escort you out.
Golly, I ain't got no chance at that point, man. All right, on to our next question. Great answer, though, by the way. Very in-depth there with your team. Give me a team in Major League Baseball that's going to take a step back this year.
It's going to sound weird because it's not necessarily a step back, but I think it is.
Don't you say it.
Is the Diamondbacks.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go Braves.
I was about to say, you're going to have
the
a
Braves
whole
did
bunch
take
of-
a step back last
Yeah,
year.
they took a hospital step back, though.
Yeah, they
it
took
was
a
all
step
about the injuries for them.
But no, I think it's the Diamondbacks, right? Corbin Carroll's already banged up in spring training. His shoulder, I don't trust. They did add, Corbin Burns, but I feel like the rest of that division is probably going to do more this year. And I like their lineup. I like Ketel Marte. I like Eugenio Suarez. And I do like Corbin Carroll, but I can't trust his health. But they did lose Christian Walker as well. So I feel like that's a team that I could see really, really taking a step back.
What about the Baltimore Orioles? I mean, they're locked and they're loaded and they're young, but last year kind of felt like it was almost like, is the window already closing for what you guys have built? And they did not re-sign Corbin Burns, did they?
No, he went to Arizona.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you just mentioned that.
Yeah.
So
no, and that was
that
one
was a mistake, don't you think? Like not signing a guy who was supposed to be your ace.
He went home to Arizona.
Okay, yeah, you
So,
can't really
it's
hold that against him.
Right. the Baltimore situation, that was probably my 1B answer to the D-backs. But there's still a lot of talent on that team, and there's talent that's up and coming.
Right over there, Norfolk Tide, man. Last year they were blasted.
Right, but I mean, I don't think Adley has the down year that he had last year at catcher, especially if they bring up Samuel Basayo, their catcher, to kind of split time. They can move Adley over to first as well. Gunnar Henderson is arguably a top 5 player in the league. Jackson Holiday, I don't think is going to. I don't think he's going to repeat what he did last year. I feel like the kid is just too talented over there at second. Kobe Mayo coming up. They still have Heston Kierstad, Colton Cowser in the outfield. I really, really like that young nucleus. But the Orioles are going to have a problem with pitching. And particularly in that AL East, that is an absolute juggernaut between the Yankees, the Red Sox just adding Bregman, Bregman and Devers and Jarren Duran, and Tristan Casas is healthy finally this year.
Yeah.
So, and then the Toronto Blue Jays, have added on this year too. So.
Well, and for the Red Sox with Garrett Crochet and
the pitching staff, Brian Bayo and that collective,
Yeah. How about on the opposite side of that? Give me a team that's going to take a leap forward this year.
I think it's going to be the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
What?
I do. I like what they're doing.
Well, even with Anthony Rendon sideline, how are they going to fill that hole?
I think it's better for them.
Okay.
Young Zach Neto, Nolan Shanuel over at first. Mike Trout moving over to right should free him up to play more than 75 games this year. Christian Moore, young second baseman that they just drafted, was hitting over 400 in the minors last year before the season ended. The Angels are notorious for bringing these kids up early. They did it with Neto and they did it with Shanuel. I don't feel like their pitching is going to take a backslide. The key for the Angels is going to be, can these quote-unquote 4A ball players like Kyron Paris and Joe Adell, can they actually get it done on a consistent basis? I feel like the AL West is a very winnable division. I'm not saying the Angels are going to win it, but Seattle hasn't improved since last year.
The A's, they're playing in a new ballpark.
The A's are sneaky good.
Or are they just the Athletics?
In Sacramento.
Sacramento, yeah. But I'm saying, are they just... are they rebranding to be called the Athletics? I believe there was something I read about that.
I don't know. As far as I know, they're still the A's. And then obviously Houston has really taken a step back with their attrition.
They lost the nucleus, but some of the pieces that with Christian Walker heading over there, like they've got some pieces over there. And Houston always find, like last year, people were counting them out around the All-Star break even, and then they found a way to get where they needed to get. And I believe they won the West last year because, like you said, it's a very winnable division, especially
the Rangers. The Rangers are going to be the class, but the Rangers can't seem to stay healthy. And by the way, I am really, really perturbed by something. I learned this a couple days ago from the Burnerverse, if you will.
Mo Notes over here.
Right? The Reds were offered Josh Young and John Gray from the Rangers for Nick Lodolo, and they turned it down.
What?
Turned it down.
So is that just another knock against y'all's front office?
100%.
So you're perturbed with the Reds organization. 100%. I mean, not only is it the I'm trying to say health staff, but that's not
medical staff.
Medical staff. Not just them, but now the front office, and then the lack of. It's not like y'all didn't make. It's not like you just sat on your hands in the off season, but there was other positions to be filled, and just it wasn't filled.
Well, and then in that same article that I read, the Phillies offered Alec Boehm for Nick Lodolo, and they said no. So it's like, what are we doing here? Like, I like Nick Lodolo, but the kid can't stay healthy.
Right.
Boehm's the one piece I wouldn't mind moving. He's kind of a liability.
Most Phillies fans say that, but it's because they're so enamored with Schwarber.
He's not a liability at third base. He's got a good bat. He had a lot of extra base hits, like doubles, but he screwed up on third base a bunch. So I don't know.
But also, when you're a team like the Phillies, then you kind of have a lot of riches.
But see, I look at it as
look at the bottom of your lineup. It's like some people would love to have, I was going to say Adolis Garcia. Who's the daggum shortstop for the Braves? Why am I blanking on him right now? Shortstop for the Braves.
You don't have a shortstop.
Yeah, right, but who's been playing it for the last couple of years? Oh, my gosh. You're blanking on it, too?
I'm blanking on it because you've got me all messed up.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll try to come back and think of it, which goes to show exactly what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, you let him go. Garcia?
Ozzie Albies at second. Third is Austin Riley. Short is...
gosh, dude. This is crazy because I was just looking at the lineup.
Right?
No, he was just... His bat was hurt. His bat
you had Nacho in there at some point last year.
Yeah, I guess he did get... Orlando Arcia.
There you go.
Orlando Arcia. Yeah, he could shine at certain places, right? But it's just, it doesn't feel the same when you have the amount of names that you have for the Atlanta Braves. It's time for us to get some Mo's notes from the Burnerverse. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Last weekend, the number 1 Auburn Tigers took care of business against Alabama. Next, Auburn returns to the jungle to face their next challenge, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coverage coming up tonight at 7:30. Tip-off at 8 on your home for college basketball and the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Some clouds tonight with a blustery wind out of the north at 15 miles per hour and look for the low to be 39. Tomorrow morning, there will be mostly sunshine with the temperature reaching 45. Sunny in the afternoon and evening with a wind around 16 miles per hour and a high of 50. Friday, we'll have a high of 52 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Billburn Kia during the President's Day sale going on all month long. Are you looking for a fuel-efficient SUV that doesn't compromise on style, comfort, and performance? Stop in today at Billburn Kia and let our team put you behind the wheel of your new Kia. Billburn Kia is now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. Billburn Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBurnKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $1,748 per month per $1,000 financed in 60 months. Qualities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is the Billburn Kia warranty. See dealer for complete detail. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/3/25.
Often imitated, never duplicated. The official sports station of the Panhandle. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back here in the Doghouse, riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes along with Adam Goff. We've got Morgan Hilliard and Caveman Rick. And Morgan, tell us about what we've got going on March 8th.
March 8th, we have the Spring Fling for the Juried Arts and Crafts Show. It's Saturday, obviously March 8th. We just said that. Why am I repeating myself? From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All proceeds go to charitable organizations in Panama City Beach, and it's only $1 for adults.
Just $1. And I think that gets you lunch, right? I don't know, $1 donation. Maybe just gets you in the door. We'll figure it out.
The print is a little too small for me to see.
There you go. But for the guys listening, if your wife's not in the car with you, let her know about this. And y'all get over there to Spring Fling.
Juried Arts and Crafts Show.
There we go. Thanks so much,
Sorry,
Morgan, for helping us out. Well, no, I was just like,
the lights aren't on yet. We're here, but they're not on.
I wasn't looking at it.
All right, what do we want to start with? Do we want to start with a burner verse, or do we want to start with our college baseball updates?
Whatever you would like to do, you tell me.
AG, you pick.
I think college baseball.
All right, college baseball. Yeah, get us caught up. I know Florida State. One thing I did not realize when we were talking about Florida State being top 5 and everything, they've got Noah Sheffield over there, the son of Gary Gary Sheffield. Loving to see the bat waggle back, baby. That wasn't on your list, was it?
No,
okay, I don't want to jump
You're
ahead.
Fine.
All right,
You're
well,
good.
all right, let's dive into it. It's great to hear the bats pinging again.
Oh, so many great things happened over the weekend, especially our bats pinging. Friday night started off a little slow for us.
When you say R, who are you speaking of?
A&M. Let's
All right.
talk Texas A&M for a second.
Aggies.
Gig 'em. Sorry. So it was incredible. No notes to hear our bats ping, how hot they got on the second 2 days of the game. I was really, really excited to see how much potential we really do have. Because Friday night was, I don't want to say it was a letdown, but I mean, it was opening day. You have everything going on. What I really, really liked about what we did on our field, especially, is we had the logo painted into the grass of opening weekend for 2025, and that stayed all weekend. I thought that was a really nice touch by our field guys. So shout out to them. We swept Elon. I can't believe we did that to Elon Musk. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Taking him down.
You're telling me that this guy bought Twitter and he can't even buy a baseball team?
Come on.
That's crazy.
Are they the Dogs?
He just buys the refs.
They did have some sick uniforms, though. I really
Elon
like.
did?
I really like their uniform choice. You know me. I'm always looking at different.
They're the
things.
Eagles, aren't they?
Listen, I wasn't even looking.
Okay.
I was just focused on one thing and one thing only. Ryan Prager mentioned.
Oh, Pookie.
He did great
They're
on
the
Friday.
Phoenix. They're the Phoenix. The Elon University Phoenix.
Their colors and that name really mesh together very perfectly.
There you go.
I'm a big fan of that. Big fan. So it shows how much I was paying attention to what they were actually doing other than nothing.
They do have classic uniforms, though, don't they?
They do have some good uniforms. You know who else has some great uniforms? Arizona State. They have some really good uniforms. And Tulane brought in a throwback
I saw
jersey
that.
mixed with Mardi Gras. Man,
Oh, I
if you're
saw that,
listening,
yes.
go look up the Tulane Mardi Gras compilation. Oh my God, I thought that was great.
It's like classic, but also kind of
a
new
little bit
age.
of pop,
Yeah.
a little bit of pop, just
The green,
but
yellow, and
just
purple.
enough for
Ooh.
Mardi Gras. Oh man, I saw that and I was like, dang, that's
Swag-tastic.
drippy
Drippy.
on the field.
Yeah.
They had the Riz.
They
had
bring it all back full
Riz,
circle.
no
Yes.
doubt.
Your number 2 MLB draft prospect had 3 home runs this weekend. Hayden Shaw, the 12th man, he had a home run. He had also some RBIs, so he's up there. He might be old, but he is good. He is good. Love him. He's a great guy, and he's really good
That's
on
the
our
thing about
staff as
baseball,
well.
though. Like, you can gotta be a little bit older
You
than
gotta
the
be a little
younger
bit old,
guys.
slow, but you gotta be good.
Yeah, there you go.
But I really like him as the 12th man. After our first game Friday, he had a letter that he read to Mike Early and, all the fantastic things that have happened for our baseball team since I don't even want to mention last year. But it was a really good coming of age, and now we're in it, and let's do all these things. We're still ranked number 1. Love to see that. And we're still defending our out-of-conference win streak. I think they mispronounced it on on one of the airs the other night. They said it was 33, but I think it might actually be 32. Don't fact check me on that. That was all math I did in my head. I have a few concerns about our pitching staff. There are some things that it's still early though, work out the kinks. Miles Patton though, the transfer, he looked fantastic. He did really, really well. Through 5 innings, he didn't allow any runs. I mean, it was straight up and straight down. Probably the quickest 5 innings I've ever watched, truly. They went head for head, and that was truly something to see some other stars kind of come out. Blake Binderup's walk-up song is Kiss Kiss by Chris Brown. And if you're as old as I am and you grew up in the same kind of millennial age as me, great song. That guy knows ball for sure.
Because of his walk-up song, he does.
Right.
Absolutely. You don't have to know ball to know ball. Some things are just a great shout, and that's a great shout, brother.
There you go.
Let me ask you a question. We talked last week about all of the teams that are in the top 25 going into the opening weekend from the SEC. Is there a team outside of A&M that stood out to you this weekend?
I know we talked last week about LSU just continuously repeating with their elite program, and they have a really fantastic pitching staff. I watched a couple clips from their series over the weekend, and I'm kind of nervous about that. They have a freshman, I can't remember his name at the moment, who has a really good arm. I mean, the guy looks elite from what I've seen so far. That makes me a little bit nervous. I'm also hoping for another weather delay against Florida because from what I saw from them, I don't want to get there just yet. Let me revel in my moment. Please stop the count, please.
So Florida and LSU and Texas A&M, you think are the class of the SEC this year?
Yeah, and I was really surprised by what Cincinnati did to Duke the other night, too, especially after Duke walked it off in the 12th inning to secure the win that night and then got beat out overall by Cincinnati. I was very surprised by that.
Yeah, I think Clemson was probably the biggest surprise to me.
Yeah,
they came out of the gates just on fire.
Did you see?
And then they had they got trounced that last game of that Shriners
Did you
tournament.
see their warm-ups?
I did not.
Did you see? There was a clip shared of their warm-up, and they're like standing in their circle, and they're not even doing actual like stretching or anything. They're just like yelling and screaming, and like a macho man scream, like arms flex, like the whole. I've got it.
Snap into a Slim Jim, bro.
Exactly what was happening. And Vandy did really good over the weekend as well. Saw a clip of them. Those guys just like to have fun. They're keeping it weird and they're keeping it fun. Vandy baseball probably like, let's go out there and have fun. Right. Literally Vandy.
Had to make you feel good that my Louisville Cardinals beat Texas in extras. In a walk-off fashion.
When I saw that they got beat by your team, of course, the first thing I wanted to do was text you. And then I remembered I have your number, so I could. So I texted you and David, and I was like, please tell AG. Oh, my God, we're all dogs. I'm sorry. I said that your pitcher was a dog, but we're all cards today.
Oh, okay,
okay. When I saw, like, the clip they had shared of him, I was like, oh, my God, I shared, like, a X-ray, but it's got pit bulls in it. That's what made me think of dogs.
Yeah. I thought we were going to a different
I had no idea what you were talking about.
Don't bite. No. It's like an X-ray, and it's got pit bulls in it. And it's like got that dog in me.
Yeah. Hey, no doubt. Any other takeaways from college baseball? I mean, obviously a great opening weekend for Texas A&M. That was huge for you. Softball had a whole bunch of ranked matchups. Yeah, I mean,
they started really early. We played at like 9 or 10 every.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's still the class of softball, right?
I believe so. I don't think that's changing. You also have UCLA, who's going to be up there. Florida State's always got a great program. Alabama keeps a great program as well. Florida, absolutely. So, I mean, it's pretty much your same olds, but you're always going to have those other teams that pop in there. Was Texas A&M? I mean, Texas A&M was 5. Yeah, they were 5.
Those girls are elite.
Yeah, taking on Oklahoma State, who was 10. And they're down there in Clearwater. I mean, it's really not that far of a drive. We got great softball right here as well, and baseball with Gulf Coast State College. So.
Yeah, we do. If you've never been to a Gulf Coast baseball or softball game, you should definitely find your way to one. It is a good atmosphere, and they put on I want to say they put on a great show, but I mean, it's a great game being played by those guys as well.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are you there to watch the game, or are you like doing stash judging?
Okay, listen.
Well, if she's watching the softball, hopefully it's not stash.
I'm in baseball.
No, I'm there to truly enjoy the game. I am actually an enjoyer. I just also enjoy mustaches.
Okay. And both of them have really nice fields and nice setups.
They have newer facilities as well. Didn't they renovate them like not too long ago?
I know that the softball field is basically brand new, maybe 3 to 4 years old because they moved it from across.
I'm pretty sure they've done some renovations to their baseball facilities.
I went to a couple of baseball games last year. I went to probably 5 or 6 softball games. I just love softball is fast paced.
You played on the field too in that game last year, right?
I played on the baseball field. I played on the baseball field for the Alternative Baseball Open, Alternative Baseball League. But on the softball league, on the softball field, I umpired a game like a couple of years ago. So
we need to get Randy on board with getting those guys and getting their games on the air, and you and I can go in there and do the games.
Yeah, I've actually reached out to them about that. Kim McVeigh actually does
I work with his wife.
Yeah, he does the basketball games, but they don't air them on the Gulf Coast Radio Network. They air them via a streaming service, and I believe that they do baseball as well for home games.
He does baseball as well. Yeah.
So. We're out of luck there.
Yeah.
But
I work with his wife. Ken has done a lot of their announcing. I think he's pretty good at what he does as well. I mean, obviously
he does Bluntstown football, I believe, as well.
I don't
I know that he was doing
remember.
some
he
games
does
because I saw him
something
posting
for
on
high school,
Facebook about
but I
it.
don't remember exactly.
Because I met Ken last year. I went to a Gulf Coast basketball game and went up to him, and I was just like kind of intrigued. I wanted to get them on the air, so I went up and met the two guys and had him come in. And yeah, he's a great guy, and he is absolutely great at what he does.
Fun fact, when I was car shopping this time last year, I was shopping for a new car. He was my stand-in dad and pretended to be my dad, so the car dealership guys would quit giving me the runaround. He is a great guy all around. He's good at what he does, and he's a very nice dude. I'll have to mention this to him so he can come back and watch this segment about him. A couple more things about college baseball.
We're out of time. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
I wasn't even going to talk about A&M this time.
No, you're good. Even if it's A&M, whatever. We're
Auburn's Bellew home run after his mom passed away from cancer Friday
maybe the
morning.
best thing. I forgot to have that on my best of the week.
That was one of the best of the weekend.
Yeah.
And they went and recovered the ball
of all
for him.
sports.
Yes.
Of all sports, not just baseball.
Yes.
They got the ball for him
They
too.
went and recovered the ball for him, and he got it back. He's going to get to keep that forever. I mean, what a great memory to have, especially. I can't imagine going out there on the field and trying to play after something like that. Another dog, for sure. Got the dog in him. But
Got that tiger in him. Well, he's
I can't look at you.
Golly, that's rude.
That's not rude.
That is, you can't look
You're
at
gonna
me.
start laughing in a serious moment. Don't do this.
Okay. Well, no, it is a serious moment, and he does have that tiger in him, or that dog in him, whatever you want to say. That also kind of. But what, his mom dealing with cancer for a long time, and then passed away 12 hours before the game or so.
Yeah, passed away that early that morning, and then to go out there and still play.
Don't look at me.
For your guys. Sorry, I'm back to being serious. Be there for your team, though. Be there with your guys, and it's opening day. Do what needs to be done, and to get to hit a home run straight out of the park. I mean, what a great moment for him. That was truly something beautiful. I really like that.
And they've expanded and renovated Plainsman Park. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. They've also updated their uniforms, which to me is a little, like the all blue kind of throws me off.
The
blue
unitard?
pants. Yeah,
The
just like
unitard?
blue pants with the blue jerseys. I think if you're going to wear a colored top, it needs to be on gray
it's
pants.
Not like
but
Boise State where we're watching that blue on the
On
blue
blue.
turf. I'm okay with it as long as it's not that.
the traditionalist in me, real quick. The traditionalist in me just would not like to see colored base, like
I
grass
couldn't.
infields being colored.
I couldn't handle
no.
it.
Like the Boise State blue.
Yeah,
Right,
that's what I'm
she was
saying.
just,
No, thank you.
Have you seen Louisville's uniforms where they have the old like 80s Astros stripes across the
I
chest?
haven't seen those yet.
Have you seen those?
No, is it like a red and yellow kind of version of that?
Oh, like,
that might be
with
kind of
that
hard.
But it's
retro
like
stripe.
the big broad stripes,
Yeah.
and then they have the hats that match.
Ooh, they have a matching hat? That
They do.
sounds crazy. We're going to have to look that up on the break.
Is it just like three stripes with the, like, do they have like an L, not within a star, but.
No, they have a cardinal bird.
Ooh, that's
Oh, they got the
sick
bird. So no
nasty.
L, it's just a cardinal bird.
Yeah, we got to look
Still,
this up
yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
And then last night, midweek, you have Brian Curley, the Georgia closer, sticking his tongue out at the second baseman, turning around, throwing a final strike to end the game. All within like not even 2 seconds of each other.
Oh, so he
turns around on the mound, looks at the second baseman, sticks his tongue out at him like a taunt.
Yeah.
Turns back around, immediately throws a strike. Game ends.
Well, it's not a time if he's doing it to his teammate. He's kind of like, hey, y'all watch
no,
this.
he's looking at the batter. Or, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
the
the
runner
runner.
on second
I'm sorry, not the
base.
batter. He's
Oh,
looking at the
okay.
runner on second
That
base.
is a taunt, yes.
Yeah, it's a taunt. And then turns around and immediately throws a strike. Oh, these are sick. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I
they're not
like
wearing the
it.
hat that normally comes with.
I like the variations of the red
Yeah.
too. Oh yeah, that's a good uniform. Are you kidding? Okay, great.
Oh yeah, no, those
Those are
those
good
look really good. I got them pulled up over here, and they've got some with the solid red hat, and then they've got three different versions of the hats with that uniform.
Like
yeah, those
that.
are absolutely sharp. Also, looks like they might wear them with red pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
just break up the monotony. Don't just keep it all blue. But hey, look, if you're an Auburn fan and you like those uniforms, that is all that matters. Again, hey, Auburn took care of business this week. I'm sure we'll talk about that in the Burner and Moe's notes from the Burnerverse here in the next coming segment.
We can open with that.
Yeah,
It's open.
we'll start with that. Yeah, those are really good looking uniforms there, and that's one of the best things about baseball, right? Is just the uniforms are classic, but as we've started to evolve, as Banji led us off with this afternoon, the uniforms have gotten a little spicier or a little more drippy.
A
Yeah,
little bit drippier. Oh
yeah.
man, I still think about that Tulane one though. Like
Yeah.
when I first saw it, I immediately sent it to one of my friends who's also big on the uniform game, and I was like, look at this. This is a good-looking uniform.
And as long as the hat can, bring the whole uniform together, because I'm a hat guy.
That's a big thing.
The way that Morgan loves mustaches, that's how I feel about hats, except for I'm not going to be attracted to guys because they're wearing a nice hat. That's going to be a little different.
Was like, play casting while watching the game. So I say that in the context of texting a friend about A&M while watching A&M.
Okay.
And I was like, Blake Bender up. And when I'm typing up, I'm putting the up of his last name in all caps.
Gotcha.
And they were like, you only like him for his mustache and you can't even see it. And I was like, okay, word. So he comes up to bat and I was like, yeah, I want you to go ahead and pause that. You're going to tell me you can't see that mustache from this angle? Try again.
Try again. But it's all about the angle. Is that what you're saying with the Hey, guys, make sure when you're sending in those pictures from Morgan, make sure that you're taking them from all the right angles. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. When we get back, we've got Mo's notes from the Burnerverse.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
It's that time of year again. The Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach presents the Spring Fling Juried Arts and Crafts Show, Saturday, March 8th from 9 to 3 at Frank Brown Park Recreation Center. Donation is only $1 for adults, sponsored by the Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach, a non-profit organization supporting charitable causes in Panama City Beach and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Some clouds tonight with a blustery wind out of the north at 15 miles per hour and look for the low to be 39. Tomorrow morning, there will be mostly sunshine with the temperature reaching 45. Sunny in the afternoon and evening with a wind around 16 miles per hour and a high of 50. Friday, we'll have a high of 52 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Listens to Post Malone. He drives a Honda with ground effects and has Pennsylvania tattooed on his right tricep.
You're looking at a bad man.
David Hayes is part of the Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You're back riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes here along with Adam Goff, Morgan Hilliard, and Caveman Rick. And ESPN Northwest Florida is the official radio station on the Gulf Coast for March Madness. We're going to kick this next segment off with a call, then we'll get into Mo's Notes from the Burnerverse. Gavin, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. What's going on, bro?
Hey, I heard y'all talking about their mustaches. I agree with every single word you just said about them.
Oh, okay. Which break it down for me. What's the thing that you agree with the most?
The looks. The looks sell everything. That's what major scouts look for, is the looks. It doesn't matter about the power or anything. It just matters about the looks.
Paul Skeens mentioned.
Yeah. But you don't like Paul Skeens' mustache, though.
It just needs to be a little bit longer on the ends.
Gavin, you like Paul Skeens' mustache?
I mean, I like his mustache, yeah.
Who's got the best mustache in Major League Baseball?
Spencer Strider.
How's your mustache?
I'd rather not talk about that. It's not coming in too fast, but it's getting there.
Day by day. Hey, day by day, my friend. Gavin, are you excited about the Atlanta Braves this year?
Oh, I'm very excited. Since we have Ronald Acuna back, we're ready. We're going to come back hotter than ever.
Hey, there we go. We got Spencer Strider coming back as well. You got anything else for us? Thanks for the call about the mustache, by the way.
Yeah, I'm very
Yes, sir, no problem.
All right, man. Hey, well, you take care, Gavin. It's good to hear from you, okay, bro?
Yes, sir. Hey, I'll see you on that softball field, man.
Probably not this year, but I'll try to make it out there a couple of times. All right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right, take care. That is Gavin. He's actually been on the show a couple of times as well. Great young man, and that mustache will come in. Just
Jimmy on YouTube says he likes Paul Skeen's mustache.
Oh, do you, Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy likes.
Okay, well,
it's good. It just
maybe we need to have a. Wait, what did we talk about last week with brackets?
Oh,
broadcasters.
Yes, broadcasters and uniform matchups. Mustache bracket soon.
Okay, well, that's a lot of brackets to dive into. Maybe we'll do a before and after March Madness. So do broadcasters, and then I'm not doing a mustache bracket. You can have your own. You can just do a Final Four of mustaches.
I'll do my own, and I'll just build it.
4 is probably not enough for you, huh? How many do you probably need to expand that one to 128 or something?
32 teams.
I think I'm going to go college football playoff. Let's go 12.
12 mustaches. All right, there you go.
So how do you determine who gets the bye?
I don't know yet. We'll have to talk about this. We'll have to work out the schematics.
Uniforms would be sick, though. That would
Uniforms
be one
fun.
that 64 would be easy to do. Maybe we'll push broadcasters to next year because uniforms, everyone, you all you have to do is look at the uniform and then boom, you make your decision, right? With broadcasters,
now, is this
there's going to be some
every sport or just a sport?
Now here's a uniform.
Right, yeah.
There you go.
Now here's
I think
a
that
guy.
you break up the bracket into NFL,
16 of each,
NBA.
Baseball.
Major League Baseball, and you can
NHL.
just do college sports in general.
Okay.
Right?
That's
and
cool.
for the representatives of each school, we'll just let Morgan will just put out 16 Texas A&M uniforms.
and then hockey would be like the NIT.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so wrong, man.
We'll figure it out. What we'll do is we'll put feelers out there, put some polls out there, and then we'll have some play-in games and whatnot, too, because there's some really good hockey uniforms out there as well. Speaking of uniforms, last night, Texas A&M it got kind of beat up on the road by Mississippi State. Hey, I'm not throwing shade here because I was thinking about this last night. I was like, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to ring the cowbell. And I was like, no, because Alabama just lost. It seems like any time that Alabama loses, Texas A&M loses, so I can't, give you any hell about it. But those uniforms were garbage.
I'm not.
No notes.
The thing
I don't get up here and talk bad
thing
about
I don't
A&M.
understand is they have their T-shirts. I saw in the stands. It says AGG. Then it has the T. Then it has the IES. And I'm like, y'all missed an opportunity here, right? Like you could have had the T going down as the I, and called it a day. But
wow, that is a missed opportunity for sure.
what I'm
I didn't even
saying.
think about that.
You need to get into uniform design.
Speaking of that, that's so funny you say that. Not even 30 seconds after that game ended, I got tagged on Twitter by my good friend Reed, who lives here in town. He's a local. We went to high school together, but he tagged me on Twitter. And he was like, how about that game? And I was like, listen.
Oh, is he a Mississippi State fan?
He's a Mississippi
Reed
State
Garrett.
fan. Yeah, Reed Garrett.
Yeah, that's Leanne Schwarzentruber's son, and Leanne does the show with me on Thursdays.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
She's the coach's daughter.
Reed-
She's actually who got me
and
into
Reed
doing what I'm
have
doing.
an unspoken agreement where we don't throw shade at each other. And I knew, but after certain matchups, only Mississippi State and A&M will we talk a little bit of trash. That's all in good fun, nothing bad there. But he tagged me, and I was like, I knew this was coming immediately.
Yeah, he was actually here before I was. He was running the board for Leanne.
He's great.
Yeah, he absolutely
he's very
is.
knowledgeable.
Especially when it comes to high school sport.
Yeah.
And Mississippi State, there ain't nothing you can get by him on Mississippi State.
Nothing.
No doubt about that.
When I went to Stark Vegas in the middle of last year and got to see their facilities, and I had texted him and I was like, you'll never believe this, I'm in Stark Vegas right now. And he was like, oh my God, you have to do this, this, and this, and this. And I was like, okay, if I can fit all that in, I'm going to do my absolute best. But we're really good friends, and he has a really sweet wife, and they've got
Carly,
a kid now.
she's amazing. Yeah,
they're really, really good people over there.
Man, small world of Panama City.
Right?
Mhm.
Speaking of uniforms, though, did you guys see where AJ Brown's girlfriend posted a photo to her Instagram?
Yeah. A
He
mannequin.
bought a mannequin.
Yeah,
and
got the book in it, too.
Yes, he bought a mannequin that's 6'2" and put his unwashed Super Bowl jersey on it. And I just thought that was really great.
It's going to smell after a while.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean,
still cool, man. You just spray some Febreze on
Put it in
it.
a glass case and call it a day.
Yeah, there you go.
call
Do
it
that.
a
He
day.
can afford that.
Right.
He's got inner excellence.
I
We
thought
all know
that was
that.
super, super cool. A great thing. What I was going to say about basketball, though, I got to catch your game, Alabama and Auburn. I came in right at the end. I'm sitting at Sakura. Great place. Sitting at Sakura. They've got it on one of the TVs, and I'm like, well, heck yeah, here we go. Great matchup. And I actually thought about you. I was like, maybe I should text David. And then I started to kind of catch up on what was happening. I was like, maybe I won't text him.
And then you do, anyways. He's like, oh, look, they're coming back. And I'm like, is she ahead of me and like seeing something that I'm not seeing right now? Man. And it was because I was like, we're down 9
I was really
The
rooting
game's
for
over.
you. But the clip I saw was we had talked about this in football season when the Texas fans had thrown the trash onto the field in the middle of the game. Well, apparently in the middle of y'all's game, they were throwing trash onto the court, and Nate Oates walked over to the officiator's table and grabbed the microphone and started yelling at the fans. And he was like, "We are trying to win a game down here. We do not need any of y'all costing us any more points." And Sark, take notes.
Yeah, I mean, really, though, that's what it's a lot easier to do at a basketball game than it is to do at a football team when you're talking about these stadiums with 100,000.
Of the fans, honestly, could be
100%. But that's the thing. And normally, Coleman Coliseum's not like that. I'm not saying them being, unruly or whatever. I'm saying it's not as rowdy as that because it's the biggest game that's ever happened inside of that stadium. And so, for them, it's poor class. It's one of those things. Listen, I get that it's a huge rivalry, and you can be as loud as you want to. There's a line, and that line is throwing trash. That line is when a player is, getting pushed behind the goal. Don't sit there and have back and forths with the player. Let him get to the job that he's there to do at that point. I don't care if it's an Auburn or an Alabama
There's a reason
player.
they're on they're on in the court in this scenario. There's a reason they're on the court and you're not. So
I remember,
maybe you should sit down. Take a back seat.
This goes back for generations, though. I mean, I remember being a kid watching Louisville play Memphis State in the old Metro Conference, and they would throw quarters at our players and our coaches, like the fans would. It is wild.
Yeah.
But speaking of rivalries,
What about batteries?
What about batteries?
Right? Yeah.
There you go.
But speaking of rivalries, I was watching that game. I believe it was Auburn threw a punch.
Oh, I only caught the very end of it.
Is that right, Dave? One of the Auburn players threw a punch at an Alabama player, but there wasn't a big brawl.
I don't think that
would have been.
I don't know if I saw that. I'm not saying that it didn't happen.
They went out of bounds under the backboard. They were next to the stanchion, almost into the stands, and there was a punch thrown. And I was shocked that there was not more that came about that.
Yeah, I mean that feels like something that Morgan would have found for us on the Burnerverse.
For sure. Yeah, I didn't see that at all. That's crazy. But also, A&M had just wrapped up. I was on my way to catch food. I'm sitting down as I'm catching the last couple of basketball minutes, which is very specific, by the way, to judge how much time is in the last couple of basketball minutes. So, I mean, if it did happen, I'm sure it's out there. I can look for it.
I mean, there was a situation where Baker Mazzara, who was also the player who was getting messed with fans underneath the basket, where he got shoved down. I don't know which player it was. So that's the hardest thing about man. When that whistle blows, I'm looking at my phone and seeing what's going on with the other games because it's golly, you need 5 seconds to shoot a free throw.
Yeah.
You don't need stupid they took a timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, and yet we've got a minute and a half of commercials.
Yep.
It's so hard, especially in this day where we can get everything. I can not watch the game and go watch some highlights
and watch your box score.
Exactly.
I can watch your box score and not have to hear any of it.
On YouTube.
Man, that's one thing I love about having the NFL app, and then you can go back and you can watch the condensed game, no commercials, none of that stuff, and I can watch a full NFL game in 45 minutes.
Yeah. That's the way to go. Speaking of NFL, did you see there are rumors about Stephon Diggs and Cardi B?
I thought she was with one of the Migos.
Well, he might be her baby daddy, but he cheated on her 1.5 million times. I guess she.
That's a lot of times.
I guess
talk about pimping.
I guess she.
They say it ain't easy.
Will Chamberlain to shame.
Quavo, right?
Yeah.
Or is it I don't know. Which one of them passed away not too long ago
remember.
as well.
Don't ask me.
All right, we'll just go with one of the Migos.
Anyways, I guess she finally got over her Migo baby daddy, and she was seen on Valentine's Day with Mr. Diggs.
Well,
and,
there you go.
They had some rose petals on the floor. There's them getting into a car. There's actually a couple of photos of them out there. And I just think that's interesting. It makes me think of what we talked about with the necklaces and the ice. Like, get away from the rappers. Go get you an NFL guy. Go get with them real big ballers.
Here's a new
They have
poll.
ice as well.
Yeah,
Here's
they got
a new
better
poll.
ice.
Yeah.
Who's a bigger diva, Cardi B or Stephon Diggs?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. They might have met their match in this one. In
Yeah.
their respective worlds, they really might have met their matches.
Kindred Spirits show.
That's what I'm saying.
Kindred Spirits. That would be their band name if they ever come up with one.
Parker said it Offset.
Well, no, but I think that's the
Offset,
name. Is
yeah.
Okay. Offset was the one that passed away. Okay.
Oh, Offset was the one who passed away.
I guess. I mean, that's what he's
No,
saying.
no. I think Offset was the
I think
baby
it was-
daddy. Takeoff is the.
Oh.
He replied.
No, Diggs.
Oh,
he
no,
says-
you're saying Diggs.
Jimmy says Diggs is the bigger diva.
Okay,
Okay.
Diggs is.
No, I think
He's a Buffalo
Takeoff
Bills
is the
fan, so
one
it
who
makes
passed
sense.
away, and Offset is the baby daddy.
Well, you know what? We'll
Just Google it. Just
Yeah.
Google it while
I got nothing.
While you're googling that. I got one more thing.
Fire away.
It
Terrence
was
Shannon
Takeoff.
Jr.
Takeoff passed away.
So Terrence
He took
Shannon
off.
Jr. He's at Illinois for his retired jersey ceremony, and they released the banner. He pulls it himself on the court, and it's upside down. I would like to know who lost their
That's
job.
a curse.
How do you put the banner up upside
How
down?
do you mess up something that big, especially to have him in the building, unveiling it himself? You've made a ceremony out of it. You've got a light show going. And I mean, his face.
Good, one job.
Literally.
One
when he
job.
pulls it and like it pops up, like, it pops down and
Mm-hmm.
kind of like ricochets from the spring and like settles, like he's just looking around like, is this a prank? Am I getting punked right now? He was not getting punked.
No, I mean that's one of those. What can we raise this up? Can we raise up the
you
cover
don't come
again?
back from that.
No, you don't.
literally do not come back. I've already seen memes about it where someone was like, newest jersey just dropped, and it's a hockey jersey, and it's got his jersey on the banner on the hockey jersey, like upside down still.
Oh my goodness. Well,
that's some awesome trolling.
USA and Canada for all the marbles. We did have a question that we were going to ask you that had to do with what was it? It was something to do with women's sports, but we'll have to bring that up next Wednesday and let you be the end all be all here for women's sports on the Afternoon Underdogs. But we also have Leanne Schwartzentruber tomorrow afternoon with us. Ryan Mulvey did have surgery this afternoon, and the surgeon said that it went well. Beth said that it went well, said that he thinks that he got it all. He is recovering right now, and Beth will keep you guys posted whenever I see an update from Beth, and we'll share it here on the Afternoon Underdogs. Meanwhile, we're going to have national programming running from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you hear national programming, don't hear the inside drive, don't freak out. Just keep praying for Ryan Mulvey and his family. For Caveman Rick, Morgan Hilliard, Adam Goff, I'm David Hayes. We're the Afternoon Underdogs. Just remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, college basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live